Hello. It's Wednesday. Hope you're all doing well out there. Hope you're staying sane and healthy and as happy as can be in these very strange times we're living through. Today, we're going to take your mind off everything else by doing a little bit of drawing together. So you're going to need a pencil or a pen or a marker or a crayon or maybe a reed that you pulled out of a pond that's all still really muddy that you can draw all over your kitchen floor with. Whatever you want to do, it doesn't matter to me. Some people ask me, Kyle, where did your glasses go? Well, I'm trying out this new pair of contacts that lets you see far and near. It's really weird. It's got these concentric circles that go in, and sometimes I can see and sometimes I can't. So let's see how the drawing goes. Reminds me of something interesting I heard. What did the left eye say to the right eye? Just between us, something smells. Okay, well, why don't we get to some drawing then, gang? I'll say hello to some folks we have here in the chat. Who do we have here today? We have Stephen, nice to see you, Stephen. And I see Sam and RB and Misty, and I see Mercurial. Very nice to see you as well. And other folks are starting to join in, so I think it's time for us to get to it. Now, I want you to remember that in order to do these drawings, you're going to have to be able to do 3 simple things, and they are a straight line. Okay. Now, does it have to be perfectly straight? No, don't worry about that. It can be a little bit of wobbly. All right, now you have to be able to do a zigzag. Zigzag could be like that, it could be like that. Doesn't matter. Or a nice curvilinear line. See that? Curvilinear. Could be a C curve. Could go this way. Could be a shallow C curve. Could be small. Could be long like that. Anyway, if you can do those 3 simple things, you can follow along and draw with us, and you're going to be in great shape. So why don't we jump right to it? Now today's drawing is going to start with a C curve. Check it out. I'm going to go like this and like that. Okay, there is the beginning of my drawing. Now I would call that a pretty shallow C curve, wouldn't you? Pretty shallow C curve. We're going to change it though now. What's going to happen is this side of the C curve, I'm going to round it out a little bit and then come straight down at an angle. So watch carefully. I'm going to start here and I'm just going to come straight down and stop about there. Okay. That looks pretty good to me. All right, next, over here, I'm going to round it out and kind of follow parallel with this line. And I'm going to stop about halfway here and just give it a little scoop like that. A little scoop. See that? That is the tiniest of scoops, right? Just a teeny tiny one. Now I'm going to leave a little bit of space here, and I'm going to carry on this way. Watch this, a little bit of space. I'm going to pretend that line just kept on going. And it's going to go like that. All right, so we started with a curve. This side went down at an angle like that. This one followed that angle for a moment, and then about halfway down, it had a little scoop. I left a little space, and then I followed out like that. All right, now, still following parallel with this angle, I'm going to come down a little lower than where this one is. See that? And then I'm just going to connect the two like so. Okay, so how are we doing over there? Everybody doing okay out there? You following along? Everything good? Looking at the chat, and I see that we have some more folks joining us. Harkirat, nice to see you. Thank you for joining us. And Ariana, nice to see you as well. It's going to go through this way. Now, ready? A little bit of a C curve to it. The shallowest of curves. Just as much space on this side as there is on that side. See that? And now I'm going to do something here. I'm going to start about halfway where this line intersects that first curve right there. And I'm going to come down to about where this little scoop was. Okay, I'm going to imagine that I'm about that same point right here. You can make a little mark for yourself if you want on your paper right about there. And I'm going to come down and scoop out that way. See that? Should I do it again so you can see that again? Down and scoop out that way. Okay, so it's another C curve. And here comes one more C curve. This one's going to go down and stop right where those lines intersect. Okay, Excelente. Alrighty. Now, let's carry on. We're going to do another big C curve. Now, this one's going to come out this way. Okay, now this is the biggest and longest line we've drawn so far. It's going to come out to about here. All right, so I want to make myself a little mark, a little target to aim for. See that? See how far that is? You can kind of measure that roughly on your paper, okay? Here we go. C curve to there. Okay, I'm going to slide this up so I've got room for my big drawing here. All right, now I'm going to do, you see this angle right here? I'm going to do something similar to that, but just a little less severe, coming down this way, and it's going to be a straight line, and it's going to stop about there. All right? So I want you to sort of figure that space out for yourselves on the page. Always good to make these little marks. Give yourself a little target. I think that helps a lot. I'm going to scooch over this way a little bit. Okay, and I'm going to angle down towards this point here. A little wider at the top, a little less wide at the bottom. Check this out. We're going to narrow on down that way. There's that line. See how much space I left right there? Okay, now here I'm going to do a straight line back to, imagine this line is coming down here, all right, and then over a notch, so like about there. I'm just going to do this. Bam. Okay, so far so good. Now, two simple lines right here. Uno, dos. All right, left a little bit of room there at the bottom. All right, now watch this. This one's going to curve out slightly. See that? Just a little J curve. Bam. No problemo. A little bit of space, and here comes 1, 2, 3, 4. Just like that. 1, 2, 3, 4. See that? Now that's a hand, isn't it? I think we're drawing a figure here. I think we are drawing a figure. That's what it looks like to me. Now, since it is a figure, why don't we come up here and do a little line just like that, and a little U like that. Aha! It is a figure. Look at that. We just made a face. Simple as can be. See that, gang? Look how easy that was. All right, moving on. We're going to do, imagine this line here, this curved line from the arm and the shoulder is passing right behind the neck. All right, so I'm going to carry it on like this. Stop right about there. So it's like it's going all the way through. And then I'm going to come straight on down about that far. Okay, that's a good long line. All right, now to help me out with what I need to do next, I need to draw a really long straight line. Now this, you can grab a ruler for it, or you can do it in stages. I think doing it in stages is an easy way to do it. Breaks it up, makes it so you don't have to be like, oh my gosh, I have to move all the way across the page. But let me show you what I'm going to do. I'm going to come through here. All right, check this out. Like this, stop there, and then I'm going to keep on going, stop there. See where I stopped? All right, maybe a little longer. So I'm trying to get it actually, let's see. I want to get it just past where this line is, just to get that a little farther, like so. Perfecto. Now I'm going to leave a little space, and when I do, check out this. Remember these 4 lines we made here? Do it again. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And now that line is going to pass even farther. Here we go. Further we go, and we stop up here. We're going to come across like this, and then keep on going. And I'm making the distance between this end of the line and that other line, and this end, and that first long one, the same. See, this here is the same as that. And then I draw a line right in the middle, like that. See the angle change there? I come out to the ends, I draw the same length, same length. Now I'm going to look at the distance between this line and that line. Do it again. Look at the distance between this one and this one, a 4. And that's a secret way to kind of get about the even amount of spacing if you have a distance to cover there where you need to have. Alrighty. All right, carrying on. Now, here we go. Since we've already put this here, it's going to be extra easy to add a thumb to this hand. And the way we do that is we draw a little line like this, and then just a little C curve like that, okay? Simple, simple, simple. Keep it simple, right? I'm going to draw a line this way, leave a little space. I'm going to come up here and draw a curvilinear line, all right? This is going to be a C curve. Now, before I do that, I want to know where to stop. And so I'm going to do this. I'm going to draw a C curve and stop right here. Watch this. It's going to go curve and stop. See that? Curve and stop. So now when I draw this C curve, I can curve and stop. See that? And I know where to stop. And that's really handy. here comes a little C curve right here, and a little small one. And that's showing me that there's a little wrinkle happening there in that shirt. And another one, and another one. And guess what we just did there, folks? For short, straight down here, leave a little space, and then carry on a little farther like that. So we're leaving a little space there for that rake, so that rake comes into the foreground in front of that shirt, or comes in front of it, right? Then we're gonna take a line here, zoop, like that, all right? And I'm gonna make sure that one carries on about that far, and connect them with a nice shallow C curve. Okay, excelente. All right, now here I'm gonna give myself a little bit of space, and I'm gonna angle down with another long line. Okay, now look how far this goes. Imagine that you're taking this distance from the neck all the way down to the shirt, okay, and you're repeating it and going all the way down this way, okay? So here we go. Down we go. That's a nice long line, okay? And I'm gonna just angle out that way, and I'm gonna come back to there, and then just come up a little notch. Right? It's a super simple way to draw a foot and a leg, because here comes the C curve connection. Out we go and down. Alrighty? C curve, very shallow. Another one, C curve, right to there. See that? Imagine it's passing on through. It's passing on through, and it's curving out like that. Okay? And leave myself a little gap right there. And now another straight line out this way. And do you remember how we did this right here? We're going to do it again. We're going to come down this way this time. We go down and down. That looks kind of like a right angle, I'd say. And then back, up, and out. Ah, excellent. Okay, now all that's left to do is make the pile of leaves, because yes, this is somebody raking leaves, which is something that is happening all over our neighborhood this time of year. And here's how I like to do leaves. Check this out. You want to make a big pile of leaves? Look how simple this is. You go straight, curve, right? And then you just litter your page with a bunch of those. Watch this. Straight, curve, overlap them like that. Do some like this, straight, and a curve and a straight one there, and a straight one like that. And then sometimes you go overlap. Okay, see what I'm doing here? And at the top here, you can just do this sometimes. So we understand, oh, there's a big pile of these all over the place. You can go 1, 2, straight, curve, straight, curve, straight. See this? Pretty nifty little trick. And just like that, you have a pile of leaves. Magic. All right, a couple little lines here just to sort of ground our figure. And you are all set. Check that out. What do you think about that, gang? That is pretty fun. There is our leak raking person. Fantastic. I like it. Oh, do you hear that sound? Do y'all hear that? You know what that means. That's our alarm for Appreciation Station. So, today, we're going to appreciate Mercurial. Yes, folks, we are appreciating Mercurial today. Now, Mercurial and I go way back. I remember when we first met. Gosh, that was a long time ago. And Mercurial, do you remember that time when we joined that secret society and they sent us on that really weird expedition to get that stolen vase from that Aztec temple? I'll never forget how you saved my life that day when the floor dropped out from underneath us and you just grabbed my arm. That was an amazing moment. I want to thank you for that. I'll never forget it. And we did have some good times. I'll also never forget that weird blue lizard you brought back as a pet. I think its name was Frankie. Don't know if you still have it. But anyway, this is an appreciation for you. I wanted to say thank you. And we did a little appreciation station for you today. So thanks for joining us and thanks for watching the show. Alrighty, gang. Well, it is now time for us to move on to the art vocab lesson for today. Now, the art vocab lesson for today is sfumato. Sfumato. What is sfumato? Well, The definition is right here. The technique of allowing tones and colors to shade gradually into one another, producing softened outlines or hazy forms. And here we have one of the most lovely examples of this. This technique was really mastered by Mr. Leonardo da Vinci, who you may have heard of. And this here painting, the Mona Lisa, which we're all familiar with, is a great example of this sfumato technique that he really got into, using very razor-thin glazes of the paint, where he would do layers and layers and layers of very soft blending, very soft transitions from one color or one tone to another, a dark area to a light area. And you can see that effect here done brilliantly in the eyes, this area around the eyes right here. See those soft transitions from the shadows into the light? Amazing, look at that. And then here under the eye, it's like the edges just kind of disappear and they become softened. Now this is done with lots of very fine little brushwork and blending, and it takes a lot of patience. And this technique has been adapted by many artists and it exists today. We can still appreciate it, but in the Renaissance, boy, it really took off and was quite a sensation. So that is today's art vocab word, sfumato. Check it out. You'll be noticing it all over the place now that you know what it is. And I think that's pretty neato. Alrighty, so why don't we move on to the animal and activity. Now, the animal and activity is where you in the chat are going to suggest to me an animal doing something funny, strange, weird, peculiar, unexpected, and I will go ahead and draw that for you. So, it could be a cat playing the banjo or something like that. And these are always a lot of fun. We get some great results from people, and it's one of my favorite things to do. It's also a real challenge. So I look forward to seeing what you suggest in the chat. So go ahead and throw those comments in there, and I'll pick one, and we'll take it to the finish. Let's see what happens here. All right, let's see. 3 cheers for Mercurial. Yes, wow, Mercurial really, we go way back. Had a great time. Good memory, you say. Yeah, I agree. It was a good memory. All right, so Steven says a red panda. We need an activity there. Let's see. An elephant blowing his nose. That's funny. A wolf reading a newspaper. A spider shooting pool. Ooh, I like that. I don't think we've ever drawn a spider in this one. That'd be funny. A bat playing a guitar. That's cool. How would it do it with its little bat fingers? Frankie the purple lizard playing cards. I like how you're tying it into our memory there. That's great. A leopard changing his spots. Oh, that's kind of funny. I wonder how that would go, like changing the spots. I like that. A sledding giraffe. Oh, Harkirat, I like that one a lot. It's a funny one. A tortoise on his back, rocking to try and get on his feet again. What am I missing any of these? Let's see. A frog painting at an easel. I like that one too. Let's see, doing sfumato perhaps, right? Sfumato technique. Employing that technique. A tortoise on his back, rocking to try and get on his feet again. I think I've seen that before when I was a kid and being naughty and turning turtles over. Shame on me. Well, now I'm all grown up. I don't do mean things like that. All right, so I'm looking at this list of suggestions here so far, and I very much like this giraffe sledding. That's just a really funny image to me. So Harkirat, I will go for it. So let's give it a try. Now I've got my light blue color here to sketch with, so why don't we see what we can do here. First, I want to get myself a little hill to think about there. So we got the sled. It's gonna come. Actually, I'm gonna angle it that way. Yeah, make it like that. I like that angle. All right, got the sled coming down this way, and giraffe's gonna be dressed up in like winter garb here. Put some boots on the giraffe. That's kind of fun. All right, this foot will be up that way. And we'll angle the, we'll do a nice angle like that and get that neck coming up this way. And they've got big eyes, don't they, giraffes? They've got big eyes. Okay, and they've got those long faces. And let's see, I can't remember if the ears, I think the ears are lower than those little things they've got at the top, those little horns, I guess. I don't know, are they horns? What are they, those funny little things? Somebody help me out in the chat. All right, I'm going to tuck the arms here. Actually, tuck them against the legs and then have the hands angle up like this, holding onto these strings. Actually, let's change the angle of this one. Let's make this one go that way, just to keep it interesting, right? Like that. Raise that shoulder. Do some more sort of foreshortening there. All right, and let's get a nice big scarf on this giraffe. What do you say? Okay, I like that. Come this way. Alrighty, and then you got those little spotty shapes on the giraffe, right? Maybe the tongue is sticking out, because I've seen giraffes with their funny long tongues, and I just think they're hilarious. We had a chance to feed giraffes one time at the North Carolina Zoo. Boy, that was a neat experience. Did that with the kids, and they were obviously pretty into that, as was I. Okay, there you go. That's pretty giraffe-y, huh? Add a bit more dimension to that sled. And let's get some of the snow kind of kicking up like that. And I've got a few minutes now to take this to a final stage, so let's do that, all right? Let's make sure I get the details there, how that connects, and the details on the boots so I understand what those look like. Okay, I think that works. Hope that works for all of you guys. Now we're going to reduce that just slightly, so I got space. And I'll knock it back a little bit. Okay, lighten it up. And we got our darker color here. And let's go for it. Okay. Nice long giraffe. I like that, that's fun. A little bit of hair up there. We'll put one of those little horns there. I don't know, I didn't check the chat. I don't know if anybody has the official name for those. Are they horns? What do I know? All right, here we go, down this way and down that way. And we've got this mane, I guess it is, right? Going all the way down there in the back. Kind of a mane. Really short hair though, right? And you got these little shapes here. And the scarf. And flying out the back there. That's always a fun thing to draw. Drawing these animals or people. Trying to avoid the straight lines, you know, keep things organic. Here's a straight line for tension, right? We want to show the tension there, but with these other forms, these clothing, the boots, the body, you know, just try and give it some movement with those lovely curvilinear lines if I can, and not lose the energy of that sketch, that preliminary sketch, right? That's the goal anyway. Doesn't always work that way, but you know, if I get lucky, sometimes it does. At least I know what I'm aiming for. And that's a big part of it, so. I know what the goal is. The goal is I'm trying to keep it so that, you know, we feel like all that energy of the sketch is not lost when I start to tighten things up, so to speak, right? Hope what I'm saying makes sense and I'm not just rambling. Add that little bit there. And there's our hill. Some action lines, you know, those are always helpful. All right, gang, well, thanks again for joining me. Hope you had a good time. And I'll see you again tomorrow at the same time. Everybody take care of yourselves, take care of each other. Please remember, as always, to be kind, and I'll see you next time. Ciao for now.